Okay, I'm live. So, this video, I want to talk about the neighbors across the street, which is the male neighbor, and he has a lot of other people that live there with him. He's like, I don't know if he's like from the Caribbean or I'm not sure. He looks half black, half Hispanic. His girlfriends are, or his baby mamas or his wife's Hispanic. So, I want to know if they're trying to haunt me this October. Last October, you remember I showed the picture of their graveyard, which to me was kind of creepy. But anyway, so the reason why I'm making this video is because the neighbors across the street, they scare me. And what they'll do, what they've been doing lately is they'll be sitting outside and they're just like staring at the house. They're like staring at the house, and I'll leave the house and I'll see them outside. I try my best not to look at them, but sometimes, your peripheral vision, you can see them. So I'll leave for about an hour, 2 hours, and then I'll come back and then they're still there. Like they're sitting in their chair, and this is like not on a weekend. This is like on a Tuesday, weekdays, like when most people are working. Okay. And it'll be like three of them sitting outside in the chairs, and they'll just literally be like this, like looking at the house. It'll be like three of them. They'll just be like this, looking at the house. And then you come back 3 hours later and they're still like this, looking at the house. And this round, there, his mom is there. And his mom to me is like really creepy because, like, I don't know, she just give me like witch vibes. Like, I don't know. Like, that's why I said it looks like they're trying to manifest something by looking at the house. Like, they're almost trying to stare into the house and gaze into the house and like trying to manifest something. That's the best that I could say. And so today they had like an old black dude there. I've seen this old black dude another time when they was like moving stuff out of the house. It's always looking like they're moving in and out. It's like it's always some weird stuff, like they're packing stuff and then they're like getting stuff out, but they're never moving. Like it looks like they're moving, but they're never moving out. Like that's just the vibe that they keep giving. And so today I looked over there and I seen like 8 people standing at the door. It was so creepy. All of their backs was turned. It looked like a scary movie, and it was just like 8 of them, kids, the grandma. It looked like two other females or three other females that were like in their 30s, and then two or three dudes. And like it was just like all of them standing, 8 of them, and it was like all their backs was turned facing toward the door, like they was trying to get into the door. And then it was weird because it was like they were standing there for like a while, like I don't know, like a good 30 seconds. And then it's like the person who I expected to have the key, it's like they was just standing there too, almost like in a line, and like one row here and then one row here. And then it was like, I don't know. And then they finally went into the house. It just looked, something about it just looked creepy. And the reason why I'm talking about it, people are like, oh, why are you watching your neighbor so hard? Like these people, in my opinion, they want to be watched. And I literally try my best not to even pay attention to them at all. And so I think sometimes what they do is try to make a special effort to be seen. And one of those special efforts that they make to be seen to me is when they go outside like that and they sit in those chairs in the front yard and they'll just sit there and stare at the house. They don't even be talking to each other. They don't be saying anything. Like they just like stare at the house like this. They're just staring at the house. like they're manifesting something, like they're wishing something bad, like they're doing some type of magic or witchcraft or something. That's how it feels. And so it's like if I don't pay attention to them long enough, because I go a long time just driving by, not looking over there, not looking at them. It's like sometimes I feel like they're purposely trying to make themselves seen, because I feel like if I see them, they feel like the witchcraft or whatever. This is just my opinion. I feel like they feel like that's how that helps make the witchcraft or manifestation like work or whatever. It's like they want me to look at them. They just want me to pay attention to them. And so I don't, because I notice that I sleep better when I don't pay attention to them and I don't look over there. But like I said, sometimes it's unavoidable and it's like they're really, really trying to be seen, like I said. So they did this on the Halloween that I made a video and I was like really creeped out and I was having bad anxiety. They did that same thing, but this time they had stuff in the yard. They don't have decorations out in the yard for Halloween right now, but they was doing that same thing where they would sit outside and just stare at the house. Like to me, that's haunted and creepy and scary enough. On a work day like Monday through Thursday, it's really creepy when there's like a group of people just there staring at stuff. So I don't know. I'm just waiting for October to get out of this year. Like I do not like October. October, I just don't like it. I don't like them around me in October. I'm creeped out by them in October, and I'm creeped out by most people in October because I feel like that's the time where people are trying to do heavy witchcraft. And I think that there's multiple people that are trying to do witchcraft on me. Even people who pretend to tell me and inform me and give me information. And I feel like they will me in and then they try to attack me with like some type of word witchcraft or visual witchcraft. And then they sit there and laugh about it. And then the next day they act like they're your savior. That's just my opinion. That's just how I feel because I go back and I listen to some of these people, but I feel like they're off and on. I feel like, some of these people are opportunists. They want to have you be informed by them and have you depend on them and listen to the messages and hear them talk about how they know what's going on in your life. And then they'll slip in some spell work in between like you're not going to notice it. So it's really dangerous when a lot of people are watching you somehow. I don't know, but I feel like there's a lot of people watching me from the signs and patterns that I've seen. And it's like at one point, it's like, okay, you feel kind of safe because you're like, well, if anything happens to me, there's going to be a lot of people that know, and a lot of people know what's going on. So you have some type of ease based on that people know what's going on with your life. So if anything happens, on the other end, it's like if all these people decide to turn on you and have a big witchcraft night against you because they're really just, trying to see what they can do and how they can control your life, then you got a big village, maybe even state of people that are up against you. So it's not really fun anymore. So that's what I've been thinking about a lot and debating a lot. And it's like, I kind of wonder to myself how people know so much about me when I'm such a private person. I wonder, like, how people know what I'm buying. Unless they have my Amazon account, like as soon as I buy something, like I don't even have to wear it. I'll just purchase it and I never open it. And then it's like I feel like everybody just bought that same thing, but I'm like I don't share any of my information or anything like that. Like little things like that and so much more that gives me signs that people are somehow able to see me and see what I'm doing, but it's even stuff that I'm not putting out there, stuff that I haven't shared. So I mean, I don't know. that's all haunting to me because, like I said, people can, want to emulate you and copy you, but sometimes it can be scary because you don't know how far they want to go. Like if they want to replace you, like especially when everything is so hidden about what's actually going on. So it's like, oh, I could do all this and copy this person, and I've been watching this person in the dark because they do this to certain people. And then, I can try to expose of them or get rid of them and pretend that all of this was me all along. I can take all their gifts, take all their talents, take their style, take everything, take, because some people, they're building things behind closed doors. It's not just what you see on the video or on camera. It's things that people are developing and working on. And, there's always an enemy that's looking in to take that as soon as you're getting ready to present that or whatever it may be. So anyway, back to the Halloween situation. I'm actually really terrified this month and every October because those neighbors still live there and those neighbors really, really creep me out. And I feel like if I look over there at them, it's bad luck. And I feel like if I look over there, it's like gives me bad dreams and nightmares and it's taunting me and haunting me, giving me anxiety and panic attacks if I look at them and then I try to go to sleep. For some reason, I don't know if this is just in my mind, but I feel like a PTSD and paranoia that like when I'm sleeping, they're doing like witchcraft over me. Like I don't know why, but I just feel like that's what's happening sometimes. Like I don't know if it's true, but like I said, I just feel that way. And I think one time it was because they was like trying to compete with me. I used to sit outside in the front yard, and then all of a sudden they started sitting outside in the front yard. They didn't have any chairs, and every time I would sit outside in the front yard, they decided they wanted to sit outside at the same time as me and like do like a stare down or just on their phone. I felt like they were trying to tether. They was just trying to really be in my aura, in my zone. And when I'm just trying to get some fresh air outside, it really bothered me because it wasn't like random whenever they want to. It was like every time that I was doing it. So it was like, okay, are they watching me? And why do they have to be outside exactly when I'm outside? And they're not doing that when I'm not there. And then when I would be outside, they could see that I was upset about it. Like, I just want some time to myself sometimes. You don't have to come outside every time I come outside. And then one night they just stared me down and he told his mom to be out there and to stay out there. And like they were competing to see who could stay outside the longest. He was like, no, 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 don't go. And I was just like, I was laughing because his mom looked exhausted and I was up for the fight because I was just like, all right, is this what you're really doing? Like, you're really competing with me? Like, I just don't understand why. And I guess he's getting paid or something to do it, but I just saw that there was a competitive nature for whatever reason. It didn't make sense. And I don't know, it just creeps me out. And I know that, okay, so they could be outside staring at me and just staring at the house, looking like they're trying to manifest something. And then as soon as I go back inside the house, they'll go back inside the house too. Or like they'll be outside doing that staring thing, looking like they're manifesting something. And then as soon as I get in the house from wherever I came from, doing my task outside in the everyday life, then I'll notice because I have a camera that, monitors everything that's going on outside. They'll go inside their house. They're not really interested in being outside anymore. And like I said, they have this old black man that they brought over twice, and he just sits outside. And it's like, when I get back, they'll go inside, but they'll leave him outside. So it's like, oh, it's not fun to be outside anymore. All of a sudden, now that she's home, it's like whatever I can do in my house is more interesting now that she's at home. But when she's not at home, I'm just going to be sitting there. It's almost like they're waiting on me. It's almost like they know what time I'm going to be driving down the street and showing up. It feels that way because it's like, who, I know y'all weren't sitting outside in the sun for like 3 hours straight and you're still sitting there looking the same way as when I left and saw you there the first time. So I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like they're doing like these like tactics. And to me, if they're not doing tactics and it's just how they move, it's very, I think they're tactics. So it's very like witchy. It's very creepy. It's very like invasive. Like it would literally do something to your mind if you watched it and paid attention to it. It's like, it's just creepy the way that they move. Like staring at you, and then it's like it's almost like generational too. It makes it creepy is that the mom is involved. It's like if the mom is involved and the grandma is involved, and then it's like they're all sitting there just looking scary in the midst of the wind, and the wind is whistling, and there's fog, and they're just glancing at your house. Like that's how it feels. Creepy. So like I said, I do try not to pay attention to them. I really try very hard. I rarely, like this whole year, I can probably count how many times I've even looked over there because I try so hard not to pay attention to them. But sometimes they'll do that. They'll get back to where they're just sitting outside staring and still there when you come back 3, 4 hours later. And so you have no choice but to kind of pay attention. And then that neighbor next door, the female neighbor, she be on something else too. She be paying attention to what I'm doing. And what's interesting is like it's like they're paying attention to even stuff that I look up on the internet. Like let's say I want to buy something for my vehicle. Like, okay, I'm just randomly searching on the internet. Then it'll be like a couple months later, that neighbor will get something for their vehicle and it'll be the same exact thing that I was looking up. I'm like, that's super weird. Like, how did you know what I was looking up? Stuff like that. So I kind of went off subject a little bit, but I'm also giving you kind of more in a detail what's going on. And a lot of this stuff I probably will just repeat whenever it's just on my mind because I really want to make it known what is happening and what I'm going through. I feel like some people think that I'm, just getting my way in life and everything's perfect for me. And I don't know what people are talking about when they're saying, oh, you're getting your way in life. Now, maybe I'm getting help in one situation, but all the things that are happening to me in my mind are counteracting those things. What if I wasn't getting help in that situation? Look at all the horrible things that I would be going through and what people would be putting me through. So thank God that I do get the help that I do get because without that, I feel like people would be completely trying to destroy me. Now, I think that I'm resourceful enough and I'm good enough of a person that I would still find a way to make it work. But I know that with what's going on with me, that there are people who would be looking to make my life even more difficult, and I haven't done anything to those people. They just have decided to zone in on me and make me their competition and make me a target, not even just competition, a target. And it's like they personally picked me out to be their victim. They seen something about me and they said like, oh, this will be the perfect victim. And then they got other people to join in and you know, on the making me their personal victim. So it's like it's hard when you've been handpicked by a group of people or by one person who starts a campaign and then they decide to make you their personal victim where they all take turns trying to do certain things to you. That within itself to me is very haunting and that's very witchcraft like. So I'm experiencing a lot every day, and it's like, okay, that's weird. They've taken it way too far, and it needs to stop. And I feel bad for anybody who has to go through what I'm going through. I don't care what anybody is helping another person with. That person doesn't deserve to be treated any type of way by any group of people just because somebody's making them dinner for them tonight, or whatever their benefit is that they're getting in life that's making somebody so upset, whatever it is. So yeah, that's basically it. And then it's like I look at these people and I'm like, it looks like you're getting a lot of help. Nobody told you to come and find me. Nobody told you to watch me unless you're part of some criminal program where, it's some type of ring that's going on, illegal ring, with people in higher places of authority that's telling you to do something like this. It wouldn't make sense any other way. Why is it that you're finding me? Why is it that you're picking me? How do you even know me? Who told you about me? I'm just one person out of billions of people in this world. Why are you bothering me? I don't even know you. I don't know you at all. So, my recommendation for anybody that is being gang stalked on this October is to just like, because it's the 25th, but those days seem so long whenever, you know, it's a month you don't really like, or there's somebody that might be trying to harass you, or you just feel some type of vibe, or you have PTSD, whatever it is because of past things that have happened to you. I would say just keep using the methods that you use. Try not to pay attention to the people. I would say to try to do things that you know are good for yourself, that are good for your well being, and also continue to express how you feel when you need to. Because some people will try to make you feel like, oh, expressing yourself, and oh, you have a job. Why would you be out here doing that? Just because you have a job doesn't mean that you don't have the right to let people know what's going on in your life. It doesn't mean that you have that you should suppress everything that you're going through because you have a job. You're still a person and you're still a human being. And this is outside of the job. And um, fortunately, and sometimes unfortunately, everybody has a personality outside of work. Everybody does things outside of work. Everybody is their own being. We put on two different faces, some of us, for work versus for our everyday life outside of work. And that's just reality, and that's completely normal. And that's how it is. And thinking anything otherwise is unreasonable, if you ask me. So, I encourage you to share your feelings if it makes things better. And again, most of what I'm saying is based off of how I feel internally. Some of it is, PTSD based on experiences that I've already been through. But mostly what it is things that I've seen. And I share with you what I have seen and how I interpret it. So you may hear what I'm saying and interpret it a different way, but I'm showing you what I've seen and what I'm experiencing and what's going on in my mind when I see these things. So if there's a difference in how we believe and how we see things, that's no problem. But I'm sharing, like I said, my perspective. And that's it. I did a little bit of a rant, but It's only going to give you more information and more understanding about what I'm going through on a everyday basis with certain situations. Okay, and thank you. I will talk to you guys later.